We haven't had one client come to us where we haven't had to do a complete overhaul of the chart of accounts. Our onboarding is pretty intense because when we get a new company into our firm, we dive deep into the cleanup, into processes. We ensure that it's run efficiently from an accounting perspective, but that exposes so many things in the business that we can now highlight for business owners. So we don't just clean up the books and do bookkeeping. We see different things within the operations, and we can give advice on cleaning up different processes and adding in standard operating procedures. And we build that because then we can add in KPI reports at the end of each month, so businesses can now track different KPI metrics so they can operate more efficiently every single month versus waiting for year end and waiting for their accountant to give advice on their business and where it's at. But to answer your question, background for Lucra Group, background for myself. So my background is in banking, so in equity research, worked for TD Bank in Calgary, Toronto, worked in mergers and acquisitions, advised on buying and selling many businesses, so know what to look for in valuations, and then owned and operated the business down in Vancouver, a manufacturing business, and learned what it takes to own and operate a business. So I understand the stresses of payroll, stresses of managing cash flow, managing a team, hiring, firing, all stresses of operating a business. I also worked in banking, so I know what the banks look for. In mergers and acquisitions, people often want to sell their business and they're like, I want to sell it next month. It takes 2 to 3 years to prep a business for sale because you want proper history. You want the books done right over time so that when a buyer comes in, it's clean and it's formatted a certain way and everything makes sense on a financial perspective. So there's so many things that we can add to clients, not just bookkeeping, based on our background. And after I sold the business in Vancouver, a manufacturing business, I thought it'd be a good idea to be a CFO consultant, some call fractional CFO. So I was CFO for a couple businesses, and after a few months realized that even large businesses, 100 employees, they don't need a full-time CFO or a full-time CPA controller in their business. And I'd go into the business, clean up processes, fix the payroll process, set up job costing reports so they can see actual job costing for each project they're working on, or set up budgets for the monthly management meetings. So then after a few months, it was like, this isn't a full-time job anymore. I'm waiting for the next month-end meeting to present the budget, or I'm just reviewing certain things, and this isn't necessarily a great business model for myself because after this contract's up, I need to find the next contract. So Lucra Group was really a downtime for me. It was a summer where I was in between contracts with CFO work. I was just in a downtime of what do I do next? Is this a good business model? Is this, what am I building? And in that downtime and stressful period, I got a vision. And I believe it was a God-sized vision, was to do bookkeeping. And to do bookkeeping, not just help one business at a time, we can help multiple businesses. And I always thought bookkeeping was just this menial task, often overlooked. But this vision was to help multiple businesses with this foundational bookkeeping piece. And we launched Lucra Group. Our first clients were local here, but then they're like, we have an operation in Florida. Can you help do the bookkeeping in our Florida operation? We're like, I guess so. We're a CPA firm, but we only do bookkeeping, so we can expand basically anywhere in the world. So we got a client in Florida, then somebody in Texas, then somebody in Georgia, then Vancouver Island. So all of a sudden, we're throughout North America when we just thought, we're starting this local thing, and that's where the God-sized vision came. It's like we're filling a need in the marketplace for bookkeeping, something that is often overlooked. It's the foundational piece of every single business. And now we get to bring in a CPA that has decades of experience with Deloitte, BDO, was director of tax for a billion-dollar company, expertise with my experience as a CFO, business owner, valued companies, mergers and acquisitions, investment banking, all this experience and background we get to now bring into businesses, and not just help one business. We can now help multiple businesses throughout North America, potentially throughout the world. But we're excited because we have this vision to help multiple businesses and redefine bookkeeping. We want to redefine bookkeeping in organizations because we see how valuable it is. It's not done right. The foundation is broken, and it's so hard to make educated, good decisions for any business. There.